Hello there, it's got from Wessex Blades. For those who have been following my odyssey in blade making, you've seen me do everything I possibly can to try and attain a decent belt grinder. You know, these legendary 2B72s, or in case of Sandy, he's got a 50 by 1525, so not quite 72, maybe 2 by 64 or something, okay? And the reason is the sheer length keeps it cool, and 2 inches is quite nice, and it's the power of the motor as well, because you literally just sit there and you're off again. Now, thanks to John from Free River Blades, he sent me that Harbour Freight 4x36, which is the average sort of size you can get of it in the UK. And you can get hold of the belts, but they're Alox, which is aluminium oxide. It's pretty hard, but it's hobby. Okay, it's the average garage bit of gear you'll get in the UK. But I had that big arse motor, so if you remember, I pulleyed it up a little and stuck it straight up in the air, and I'm using the stage. Okay, so I've got some grunt now. Now the next thing was I picked up a cheap Audi, so now I had a decent slack belt section. Okay, so I've got a bit of stiff stock removal on a flat sort of upright, and I can do slack convexes. Okay, but all this time people are saying, try the ceramic belts, try the ceramic belts, try the ceramic belts. Well, like, to source ceramic belts 436, the prices were stupid. So if you remember, I got a little 1x30. People have been telling me, and yeah, it's a cute little thing and gives you a lot of scope for your profiles. You can get your plunge lines nice because it's got a little flat piece of metal, and it's got a slack belt. And then I got the contact from Doberman Knives for the 1x30 belts. You had a little bit of a hiccup to begin with. If you remember, they were really slack. His Axminster one was able to adjust a little bit more. So anyway, they went back and they've sent me that, and you know, customer service was very good. But I went through 5 belts in like less than a blade and a half, and I'm thinking, for the cost of that, and these belts 1x30, they're still £2 odd each. It's this wide and it's this big, so that's £2, £2 and more, and then postage. Well, I'm not getting, you know, I can buy 5 Alox belts for £2.40, and sometimes on Amazon it's free postage. So they say ceramics are like 3 times longer, they last you. Well, I get 5 times as many Alox, and I'm still left with this financial, it's just not trading off. What I need is a big, great monster, okay? Because by the time that they cut this stuff up, by the time that they join it up, where's the join on this? There it is. They sort of scarf it in, okay? By the time they do all that, Sandy's belts from we get are Klingspor, like blooming good belts, and he's paying £2.12p for them. So that's it. I've had enough. So what do? I think I'm going to cobble something together again, because I've had it up here. Okay, I'm not saying on the verge of giving up, but on the verge I got to do something, because the 1x30, I'm stopping the bloody thing in my hand. What I was finding was, after a while, it stretches in. I'm finding it very hard to get plunge lines, because when the belt wears and stretches, it kicks and moves and slips. So my neat plunge line gets a little smile at the end. I can't do this anymore. I need something different. I've got to come up with something that uses the belts that Sandy's got, because of the cost effectiveness of that thumping great piece of abrasive ceramic material that I'm buying for £2.12 It's the same price. It's the same price. It's within pence. It's the same. I mean, for goodness sake, how on earth can you justify using stuff that big on a little 1B30? Lecture over. So bought myself one belt, one big belt, 2 by 15.25, £2.12p. Okay, paid the postage on the one, but anyway, it's here, and I've cobbled some together. Cobble something together. Needs a little bit of an adaptation, but it actually works. So I'll set this thing up. I'll see you in a minute. So, I've kept the motor unchanged, belt mechanism unchanged, belt guard unchanged, pulley the same. What I found was, I initially had this going a right around Aldi using both pulleys, but the drive one here needs to go at least, there's a drum, needs to go halfway round to get enough pipe to drive it, it's slipping. But I didn't use the bottom pulley, I just used the top. What I do need to do though is get a piece of steel. I might get some ceramic tile later, but I don't want to cut this away anymore. In there, a piece of steel, just lift that a little, so I can get the plunge lines against that. But that'll do until I can afford the real McCoy. So I've got a false McCoy, a cheap McCoy, a Dr. McCoy. The Aldi grinder is there on a hinged piece of wood. It's got the Wessex bodge blades with his new, what's his new? With his Frankenstein 50 by 15.25. Thank you. I thank you. Total Penguin.